Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badrudduja and today again we are going to see same site lax protection or lax restriction bypass via cookie refresh. The lab description is like this lab's change email functionality is vulnerable to CSRF, and to solve the lab we need to perform a cross-site request forgery attack that changes the victim's email address. And this lab also provide us one exploit server that we can use to host our exploit. An interesting part here is the login. The lab supports OAuth based login. So OAuth stands for Open Authorization. Okay, and this is the authorization mechanism. Fine, not for the authentication, but you can use it over OpenID, which is managed by OpenID Foundation. And the OpenID is basically for authentication, but if once you use OAuth with OpenID, so that become a perfect mechanism for authentication and authorization also. But here OAuth basically provide the authorization. Fine. So I will record one dedicated video on open authorization, and the current version of OAuth is 2.0 right now, or 2.0. So you can log in via your social media account with the following credentials. Okay, so this is our credential. One thing to be noticed here, that the default same site restriction differ between browsers, as the victim uses Chrome browser, so we recommend also using Chrome. Okay, so this is recommended that you use Chrome browser for getting better experience and to be more successful on this attack, to perform your attack. Now there are two hints. The first one is, you already see that many times, that any email you want to change, that email must be unique. And second thing is, we have exploit server to deliver our exploit. The second point is very important and interesting, because a lot of time you might have encountered that sometimes whenever you are accessing some specific kind of feature in an application or in website, at that instant you might have encountered that beside URL you will see one pop-up window that's saying that it's blocking some content. So browsers block pop-ups from being opened unless they are triggered by a manual user interaction. Okay, so such as a click. So that at that instant you must go and make click somewhere so that the content will be allowed. So the victim user will click on any page you send them to. So you can create pop-ups using a global event handler, and this is the syntax of that. Fine, so we will use it in this uh, lab. Okay, let's go. Enough talking. I'm going to access the lab. Okay, so we are here, and I just wanna manage a bit so that you can see both of these windows simultaneously. And I'm gonna clear the history so that we can see from the very first request just from this. So I'm directly going to my account. And one thing to be noticed, when I click my account, we are redirected, and redirected where? See, we click on my account, so we redirected to this location, social/login. Okay, and in this social login, you can see this is the cookie, normal cookie, session cookie. Okay, but there is no specific authorization with this session cookie. Anyone come will get a random session cookie. That's normal. But the thing is, once we go to this, it follows one OAuth flow. Okay, and in that flow, what's gonna happen, that it is going to authenticate us maybe with OpenID or something. We need to check that. This is the referral, which is normal. If we come back here and see this portion, So here you can see this is the content is from URL https OAuth slash this, and this is the OAuth server. Fine. And then it is going to call this endpoint. Fine. Which is OAuth hyphen callback. So after this, we will get /auth and client ID. So it will provide us one client ID. And if you see the redirected URL, you will see OAuth /callback, same as before. But the scope here, you will see the scope particularly. Scope is equal to OpenID space profile space email. Okay. And what it's gonna do here, it's gonna set the cookie, which is interaction, and this is the value of it. Now again, if you read these headers, response headers, you will find that it is gonna create one path, and that path contain /auth and then this interaction value. So following this, now we have another request, which is /interaction / this value of the interaction cookie. Fine. So once we access this endpoint, here we have a login page, and this login page related to the social media account what we have. So WIENER Wiener, and the password is Peter. And once we sign in, because you can see the host is OAuth, come on, never. Fine. So again, we are redirected back to the OAuth with this value, then interaction with the same value. And once we go to continue, see, I give you one hint here. Suppose you install a third-party app in your mobile phone, which is gonna manage your social media accounts like Twitter and Instagram, something like this. So it is going to manage the Twitter account. You are not going to interact with Twitter, Instagram, and your different social media accounts. So you install one third-party app, and that app is going to manage or show you all of the notifications from your different social media platform. Fine. So once you install that app, and once you go to log in your Twitter account within this third-party app, so once you click on Twitter, it will redirect you to the Twitter login page, which we saw here before. And once we put the username and password, it is going to ask you the permission that this application need your permission to access your gallery, to access your contacts, to access your Bluetooth, your location. So this is same like that. So once you allow those permissions, the Twitter will generate one token and provide this token to that third-party app, which is here, this one. And that token is now installed within this third-party app on your phone. So every time you don't need to log in to the Twitter, to Instagram, to all your account. And every time you go to access this third-party app, because this third-party app already has the token. So at that instant, it's just gonna contact to the Twitter, and Twitter will see, okay, this device is already registered with me, and this is the authorized user. So it will give you the whole notifications and all whatever the messages. And so you know the idea. So OAuth is basically for the authorization, and that token which you have from the Twitter, that token is your authorization token. Fine. So once we go and click on continue, you will see here one OAuth callback is there with a code, and this is your code. Fine. And one interesting thing you must see here in the response section, there is a response header which is set cookie, and it's setting this cookie. So you can see here, this is the previous cookie which is allotted to anyone who access the application. So this is the normal cookie, but after following that authentication and authorization flow, you will get one cookie, and this cookie is your authorized cookie. Okay, so after getting this cookie, whatever action you perform, you will be identified with this cookie and the tokens and all. Okay, so let's click on yes or continue and go to my account, and you can see now I am logged in. Fine. Now if I go and log out, go to my account, so we are redirecting to the social media account, social/login again, and once we click continue, we are again log in. One thing you pointed out here, even if I logged out and log in again, the next time I try to log in, it does not ask me for the username and password. So let's see one more time if you did not pointed out that. So I logged out. Fine. I go to my account. It is going to send me to the social media social/login, and it's saying you have successfully logged in with your social media account. Click continue, and we are logged in. We did not need to put again and again username and password, and that's what I was explaining before. I don't want to make this video too much long, so I will record one video on OAuth dedicatedly. So now back to our point. I'm gonna test here something. So I want to change the email, test.west, update the email, and this is our email address. But before going to that, I want to show you just one more thing, which is, you can see whenever I logged out and I try to log in back, I come to social media, it give me one normal session cookie. But once I completed the login process and OAuth callback is there, we are assigned with one specialized cookie. So let's see, I already changed my email, so I want to see this request. So if I see this request, you can see there is no CSRF token, no CSRF cookie. That means this is vulnerable to CSRF. But the thing is, if I back to OAuth callback, you can see it's setting the cookie, and here SameSite cookie is not explicitly defined. So that means the default SameSite cookie attribute is set and the default value is lax. So now we need to bypass the lax restriction. Okay. What I'm gonna do is, let's see, now I'm going to try what? Go to the exploit server, and here I'm going to write a basic SSRF, a basic CSRF exploit. So action and method is equal to let's say post, and then input type is equal to hidden, name is equal to email, because the post body section there is one parameter name is equal to email. Fine. And its value, let's say it's gonna be test1 at test.west. Fine. What else? We need to close this form, and we need to write one script tag here. Within this we need to submit this form. So because we have only one form, so the ID is gonna be 0.submit, and once we submit it, we need to close this script tag. Fine. Back here, and I'm gonna copy the URL and paste that here. Fine. Now let's see if this change my email or not. So right now my email is winner2, store it and view exploit. view exploit means you are applying this exploit on yourself. So let's just continue. And if I try to refresh this page or click on my account, you can see my email did not change. Why so? Let's come back here. So you can see once we click view exploit, that means we acting as a victim user trying to access this exploit endpoint for the exploit server. And here, once we click this, it is going to send us to perform this action and trying to change our email. So it is going to access this endpoint with the post request. And here you can see I put my email as test1. But the important point to be noted here, there is no cookie added in this request because of the SameSite Lax restriction. You can see there is no cookie. If there is no cookie, how you are going to perform this action? How the application will know that you are authorized to perform this action? Because it is going to identify you from your cookie. Okay, that means let's go here on the exploit server and try to store the exploit one more time and view the exploit. And let's see. So as you can see, this time our email gets changed. Why? Because it's assigning one cookie. This is interesting. It's assigning one cookie and sending us to this location. But once we go to this social/login endpoint, it is going to initiate another time the authentication and authorization flow. Okay, so you can see again it is following the whole flow for the authorization. And once it comes to the OAuth callback, it's going to have one more session cookie. And if we actually within a time limit, if we access that particular exploit again, that is going to access the same cookie as you can see we have here. So DSM and last three alphabets are YEH. So YEH DSM. Fine. And that's why the second time it's changing our email. But if we spend some more time and try to change the email again or try to view the exploit again, it is sending us to the social media, continue, login, and you can see it's still test1. But within the same time, not spending much time, maybe in 2 or 3 minutes, if we again access this, you can see the email gets changed. Fine. So I hope you understand the concept here. Now what we need to do here is that means we need to access here the social media slash this endpoint again, /login, social-login. Okay, so we need to access this again. So once we access this again, it is going to follow the auth flow, and once the auth flow is completed, the cookie is already assigned, and in one time you will be able to change the email address successfully. So first of all, I'm going to change the email address, and here I'm going to say window dot open, and let's just copy the URL from here and paste it here. Okay, and we need to set timeout. So let's say timeout is 5000 for 5 seconds. And one more thing we need to do. What? We need to actually define here one function and let's say the function name is update email. Okay, and within this update email we submit the document, we submit the form and close this function. Okay, and here within the set timeout we need to call this function. So copy this function, paste it here, copy, space, and that's it. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are creating one form to change the email by accessing this endpoint with the post request with the post method, and within the script we say okay, go to, first of all go to this endpoint. Okay, and there is a timeout limit which is 5 seconds, and call the update email function. So first it will perform this function, then it will call this function where this form is submitted. Okay, so now let's see. So first of all store, and once I click view exploit, you should see this part here and you will see the pop-up here. Okay, so just view exploit and you can see here pop-up blocked. So at that instant what you need, even though pop-up is blocked, but it is still follow the redirections, still follow the process. But the problem is if the pop-up blocked this content, that means our session cookie is blocked here. And if session cookie is not included in the request, the email address will not change. So if I continue, you will see that our email ID is not changed. It's still test2. Okay, so now what we need to do here is this part. We need to define here one global event handler. Okay, so I'm going to just copy this and come back here and paste it here. Fine. And within this global handler window.onClick, I am going to set everything within this global variable. Okay, so this is one part and this is the second part. Rest of the things are okay. So again, test3 is the thing. Again, I'm going to store and view exploit, and this time you will see there is no pop-up. Okay, and the page is blank. So if I click somewhere in the page, you can see another window popped up and or another tab is open and it's following the flow. Continue, and if you go to my account, you will see the email gets changed. So if it's working here, it will work on the victim, but you need few changes, a little bit, so that the user or the victim, when see the blank page, he will know that okay, he need to click somewhere. So what I'm gonna do here is just within the paragraph tags, please click here to proceed. Okay, now just store it, or wait a moment, if we need to change this, store and view exploit. Now you can see please click here to proceed. Now the victim who is not aware of this kind of thing, he may click, and once he click, he will see everything is real, means there is nothing to be suspicious here within this part. So he will of course continue, and you can see the email gets changed. Okay, because everything seems working fine. So okay, go to the exploit server again, and this time I'm just going to change this to hacked at test.west. Rest of the things are okay. Store this and deliver exploit to the victim. One thing you need to make sure that you need to wait a bit. You must have patience for this lab because it is not going to work so quickly. So let's see, I'm going to access the log here and I'm going to open the exploit server here. If we see the access log, you can see the user, this is the victim user who visited the exploit server, but still the lab is not solved. Okay, so just wait a moment and it may take time. I'm going to refresh the access log again to see if he visited again or not. Up to now, no. And you may deliver the exploit multiple times maybe. Let's see, store deliver exploit to the victim. Refresh again. The victim user visited, and as the victim user visited, let's deliver the exploit one more time. Okay, let's see, because it's been a long time. Okay, fine, let's store one more time and deliver exploit to the victim. Deliver one more time. Last it came on 002724. Refresh it. 0030. Okay. So this is the part where you may get frustrated because sometimes it take time. Let's just change the email to hacked at cybersec.radar. Store it. So the victim is actually accessing the exploit server, but okay, let's change the email again, hack to. And as you can see, the lab is solved now. So there is nothing wrong in the payload. Okay, there is nothing wrong in the concept, but it's from the victim. It's something that you must wait or you must keep trying. You might have sent or delivered the exploit multiple times. You may need to change the email sometime because sending with the same email again and again, so maybe that's the issue, but I don't think. Fine, so that's the thing. I hope you understand the concept and I hope you enjoy the lab. This is really tedious. You need to have patience to solve this lab. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.